Hello and welcome to Don't Feed the Geeks, presented by the Long Island Comic Guys, the masters of the geeky verse. Well, welcome back, Geek Freaks. I am TC.
I'm JJ.
And I'm Toy Story.
And we are back for another exciting episode of Buy, Sell, and Stash. Get your comic books ready, check your boxes, but before we get into it, make sure you're hitting that subscribe button, everybody. The little bell, that's a little notification button. Hit that too. If you like this video, give us a thumbs up. If you didn't like it, it's okay. You can just tell us in private. And tell us something nice. Make sure to hit that comment section. And if you're not watching on YouTube, if you're just listening on any podcast platforms like iTunes, Google Play, or Spotify, iHeartRadio too, we're there also. Make sure you're doing the same. Subscribe, notifications, likes, comments. We want to hear from you. We love you guys. You're our geek freaks. And that's all I got. Now we're going to dive right into Buy, Sell, and Stash.
Beautiful.
Buy now.
Buy now.
Who's starting this out?
I'll start it out, I guess, right?
Nice.
Sure, right? So my buy right now, where am I at here? Here we go.
We forgot already.
Superman #4. This is the first Bloodsport. So this book is still cheap. I know that doesn't seem cheap, the 9/8, but getting this book raw, it's pretty cheap nowadays. But this is the first appearance of Bloodshot, and also the first appearance of Maggie Sawyer. She's the first gay female character. I didn't know that until I started researching this book. But what's great about what I like about this book is I've got one on eBay. I'm tracking right now. But this book you can get anywhere from $20 to $40 in really good condition, raw.
And it might be a 9/8.
It might be a 9/8. The ones I've been looking at, they're pretty good, and they're still cheap. You can do some buy it nows for $30. There's some the one I'm looking at now is $40, and I was going through it. It's pretty good. When you get into the the 9/8 and all that, the last sale on eBay was $216. That says $375. But the what do you call it? The GP analysis, the last sale was $260.
Oh, that's probably offer on that one.
Yeah, that was probably the offer.
Probably.
Yeah.
You
can still pick these up for pretty cheap. It seems like
you can. And it's. I didn't realize there's also a newsstand of this, which there's not many of them.
That's this one right here that you're showing, right?
Right. Yep.
Yeah.
The on GP analysis. I mean, really, the only newsstand they had on there. There was one. It was a 9/6. But there's not many of the newsstands out there.
Yeah.
And the other hard one to get on this is the Canadian variant, which seems to be selling higher than the U.S. version or the direct version.
Yeah, Canadian price variants or something that I think there's a specific group of people who are really into this.
People do like them.
Yeah, they do. I have a couple of Star Wars Canadian variants, and it's interesting how much difference in pricing they go.
Yeah,
but this is still a cheap book to get your hands on.
It's funny. Like I'm kind of 50-50 on this one. Like I think if you have like a 9/8. I would definitely dump it. I'm curious, do you know how many 9/8s have sold recently?
Yeah, recently.
Like in like the last 90 days or whatever? Like what do they have like that number at? Because I feel like that number is probably pretty high because now that the movie's over and done with, people are probably dumping these, which is what I would have done. I probably would have had this in my cell.
Interesting. Well, contention.
Yeah.
Huh. Yeah, I don't have that number. Next time I'll have those numbers for that.
I do agree 100% that if you can get your hands on these raw and it given that it's an 80 from 87, you can probably get some nice high quality ones for $20 to $40. I think it's worth taking a gamble. I mean, even if you send it in and spend the other $50 to get it graded, if you can get a 9/8 out of it, it's a couple $100 profit.
And even a 9/6, the last sell on a 9/6 was $145.
Yeah, you see, for that's the thing. That's the gamble you're going to take because you're going to, you don't want to buy the book for $40, spend another $50 to get it graded or whatever it is. God forbid you're going to get it pressed too. I wouldn't go pressing on a book in this caliber, but then you're talking about like a $90 to $120 to make $20 on it.
Yeah.
it's a little tight once you get to those numbers. And God forbid you get a 9.4 on it, then you've already lost money.
Yeah, those at 62 was the last sale on those. I'd like to know the guy who owns the Garden State pedigree on this. He bought this a couple years ago for $42. So there is a pedigree on this one.
That's funny.
I could see that easily going for 500 to 1,000.
Nice.
There is a double cover out there that sold. Last sale was 500.
Oh wow!
Sold about 3 months ago for 500.
Nice.
Cool. Good one.
But yeah, I would say raw copy. I would pick up raw copy. See what you can get out of it.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right, Matt.
I'm up for my buy.
You're up.
My buy is Amazing Spider-Man #4 from the 2014 series, featuring the first appearance of Cindy Moon, aka Silk. So this book is still, I believe, very cheap for what it is. Last sales have been between $350 and $400, as you can see there. And I'm pretty sure it's already confirmed that there's a Sony show coming, starring her. I believe it's filming now or towards the end of this year, actually. So for as popular as a character as she is and as she could be, I think this is still a really cheap pickup in 9.8.
You know, it's funny when you put this on the list, I thought you were talking about the Volume 1 Amazing Spider-Man #4. I was just like, why? It's actually pretty high.
I know. Yeah. That is no rating as high as it is.
Oh, 2014.
Yeah.
You know, it's funny. I think I told you guys another episode recently. There's a girl on the show Picard, the Star Trek Picard show, who I absolutely love, and I think she'd be freaking perfect for Silk. I've been meaning to do a post
What's
about
her name?
it. It's Iris something. Go into this and then I'll find it.
Oh yeah, that's my buy. I think they're still really cheap for what they are, and I think it's worth picking up one if you can.
And this is just a cool cover too. I dig this cover.
I remember when this came out, I was like, oh, that's awesome. I need that.
Isa Briones.
Isa Briones? How do you spell
I think
Isa?
she's half Japanese. ISA, last name Briones. I think she's half Japanese, half American,
cool.
half British.
Oh, cool.
Yeah,
I
cool.
can see that. Yes,
but I actually like this one. I have this one, and I have the variant, which the variant goes for crazy. The Ramos
variant's like $900, $1,000 right now.
Yeah, and that's a book I've been like trying to sell, but I haven't really got the right price on it that I wanted to get on it yet.
Do you agree with this as a buy?
This one I'm not going to sell. I have the 9.8. It's going to stay in my collection because it's part of my Spidey collection. But I do think, again, it's another, minority, female minority character, coming into, the Spider-Verse. I think it's going to be a big book. I think her and Spider-Gwen at some point are going to explode. My daughter, they just came out with this like kids show, the amazing like Spider people or Spider-Man and his amazing friends or something like that, and it's him, Miles, and Spider-Gwen. I think these characters are really, really going to start popping. I mean, like we already know Miles has, but I think Gwen and Silk too. Like once she starts hitting the scene, I think people are going to start going crazy for these books. So I actually agree full-heartedly with this one. I would go out of your way right now and get the 9.8s because again. A first appearance under $500 and a 9.8. Like again, it's a recent book. There's probably a lot of 9.8s out there. Like, do you know how many 9.8s there are?
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, it's probably
most of them. Probably there's probably more 9.8s than 9.6s, honestly.
Yeah. So I mean, it is what it is. But I think this is definitely one to have because it's going to be a big book at some point. So, and everybody's going to show up in movies eventually.
Of course. And that's my pick.
All right, cool. So I'll take next. I am going with Hulk #1 from 2008. It is the first cover appearance of General Thaddeus Ross as the Red Hulk. I believe Hulk #2 is the first time he appears in the interiors. A couple other first appearances in there as well. Listen, this book, there's a lot of them. There is, and I will peek at my notes real quickly. There's over almost 2,300 total graded. There's more than half graded in a 9.8 out of the total number. But listen, last sale on this was $330. The 90-day average has been about $430. The 12-month average, it has ticked up to $350. And it is a book that's trending up. All the green arrows are pointing in the right direction. People aren't saying that he's going to make an appearance anywhere, but I would be very surprised if we don't see him in She-Hulk. If not She-Hulk, somewhere else. I mean, they've been like hinting at him since, they said that, the guy who played, Thaddeus Ross was going to be in Civil War. People have been saying that we're going to get Red Hulk. So I actually sold one of these a little while ago, but I think, this one specifically, this is the main cover. I mean, some of the variants go for a little bit more. I think this is the one to buy right now. Again, it's a first appearance, a character we haven't seen yet in the MCU or whatever, it's going to be the MCU, showing up for under $500. I mean, I've seen some that were even under $300. So
nice.
I think it's time to pick it up, and hold on to it for a while.
I picked up one of these from Kyle's front yard.
I remember that. You were there.
Remember that? I was like, I saw it. I was like, oh, this is pretty cool, man. It's a beautiful copy.
It's nice. Half being graded 9.8 is a little much for me, but I do see your points.
Yeah, listen, it doesn't matter how many there are. I mean, the thing is, too, like, yeah, granted, so that number is like 11, almost 1,200, 11 and a half, 1,150 maybe. So, how many of those people are looking to sell them once it shows up? Probably a lot. I don't think it's going to be 1,100 people, but there's probably enough people who are going to want it because people wait last minute. They don't listen now. Like, we're telling you to buy now, but you're going to wait until he shows up and then you're going to buy it. I mean, listen, do I think this is going to be like a $5,000 book? No, because there's so many out there. I could easily see $750, maybe $1,000. So if you buy it now, and if you're just looking to hold on to it for a little while and flip it, I can see it maybe doubling your money down the road.
Cool. Good pick.
Okay.
Next up.
So I spent a lot of time on this today.
I like your presentation.
It should be sell though.
Sale. Oh, I was doing that quick.
We don't have a sale.
Not yet. So listen, my sell book is this one here. Listen, there is a movie coming out on this. With Jake Gyllenhaal. The reason why I say sell on this one is there's a lot of these.
Jake Gyllenhaal going to be in it too?
Jake, what did I say?
Gyllenhaal.
Oh,
okay.
Sorry.
So it is going to be Jake Gyllenhaal.
Yeah, that guy there. Yeah, that guy. There's a ton of these out there. I think right now it's probably the best just to offload these things. On eBay, you can get these things at cover price.
There's already hype, right?
There's already a hype. So, the ones that are worth money on this, so there's 3 different variants on this. You got your regular cover, and then there's this variant pink signature edition. I know that Walking Dead did this one with one. It was like a pink, like one part of the name, but there was a signature at the bottom. It was in pink color. They did the same thing with this one, which goes for a little bit more. And then there's this collector's edition that came with the statue.
Silver foil?
Yeah, it's a silver. It's a silver foil. It came with a statue, a pin, a print inside, and those things right now are going for over $1,000 to $1,500. They were selling for, I think they were selling for like $200 when they first came out, but now, I mean, they're, as you can see, there's $1,500, $1,400. These things are selling. So if you got these, I would offload these things. There's almost 1,000 9/8 on CGC. I don't know what's on CBC.
Which one though?
The regular one.
Yeah, so I was looking at the regulars too, and it seems like the regulars aren't selling for a ton, right? Like less than $300. I saw a lot of them going for.
So there's a couple of bids right now. The one's at $26. There's 4 bids on it. It ends like the end of the week. And then there's another one that's up to $190 with 22 bids on it. And this is just a regular cover, nothing special about it, no signatures, anything else like that.
I definitely agree. I would unload the foil ones. The regular ones seem like maybe a wait and see.
Yeah.
Like with stuff like this too, like the announcements, I'm always on like the fence. It's like, I don't think announcement is the time to sell the book. I know there's usually like a little peak in the sales once the announcement comes out. But the money that I see moving once you get like a trailer, like I feel like that's the time to go. Like, would I sell a Amazing Spider-Man 4 right now? No, sorry, 3.
Doc Ock.
Yeah, you saw Doc Ock. I mean, now would probably be the time. But I don't know. It's
Yeah.
tough to call.
Yeah, there's just with this book, there's so many of this out there. Get rid of it.
Good pick. All right, my turn.
Sure.
All right, my choice is Invincible #1. First print original, 2003, I think, came out. Right around the time of Walking Dead #1 also. So why do I think we should sell this? We got the TV show.
Because
TV show's out. TV show was very, very well received. This book jumped a lot. Here's some GPA numbers for you guys. Between 2017 and 2019, high sales for a 9.8 were around $1,200. In 2020, high sale was $1,750. In 2021, the high sale this year was $5,250.
Wow.
So wait, how much were they going for in 2017?
About $1,200.
Really? They were already that high?
Yep. It's because it's very scarce. It's a 10,000 print run. I think Walking Dead one was 7,000, so it's a little scarcer. And I do actually have census data. There's 298 9/8 out of 1,100 graded.
200 and how many 9/8?
298.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, 5,250 was the high sale. They're hovering around 3,800, 400-ish, 4,000-ish right now.
Yeah, that was probably some market manipulation like we were talking about last episode.
So still, but you see a sale right here from a couple days ago or a couple weeks ago, 3,650. If you bought this a couple of years ago, you have a great return on investment, even if it dips a little bit. I think that this book has seen its height. I think it's a great book. It's scarce and high grade. It's good to have. I think if you're looking to sell it, this is the time to sell it.
Yeah.
I mean, holding it, you're not going to make more money selling it.
The only thing that's going to get you more money on it at this point is if they go live action.
Yeah, which I don't know if they will with it because they're putting a lot of focus on this animated adaptation. So, yeah, that's my pick.
Listen, even if you spend it, if you doubled your money, absolutely. If you're the person who bought it now for like $2,800 or $3,500, listen, a live action could get you to that $7,500 at some point. So I guess I'm not looking to buy it, but hopefully other people are.
Yeah, so that's my pick.
That's a cool pick.
That's a good one. Yeah, I didn't realize how scarce it was.
I love this book too. Don't get me wrong, but I think that if you're looking to make money on it, now's the time to sell. Even though it's dipped a bit from its highs.
Yeah. All right. Cool.
Yep.
All right. My next. Myself.
Yeah.
All right, so I actually was on the fence, so I think the last one I might have mentioned it, but what I'm going with is Fantastic Four 52, Black Panther's first appearance, and I'm not going to lie, I was debating between this and Amazing Spider-Man #3, but I was like, I think you can still get more out of that. Listen, at the end of the day, T'Challa's done, at least for now. This is the first appearance of Black Panther, the T'Challa version. It's not Shuri. It's not anyone else. He's passed away. It was great to see him, one last time in the What If. But now, that's all we got for Chadwick Boseman, unfortunately, as him. So we don't know where they're going to go. I mean, this book has been on the up. I think it has, to do with the What If series. And, people have Black Panther on their mind again. But listen, if he shows up later down the line, again, like if they do some type of multiverse, bringing a T'Challa back, okay. But I don't really see them going with this specific version of the character anytime soon. So listen, I could be wrong. Maybe Black Panther, they're lying, and there is going to be a new T'Challa. I don't think so, though. I think this book has reached its height for a little bit, and I would listen. I'm not telling you if you're a fan of it or if you want the history. I have one. I have a 7.0. I'm not going to sell
one too.
I know Toy Story has it. I'm going to try and egg him on to sell it. But
I have a raw one.
I was just going to ask, should I sell it?
Yeah, listen, if you don't care about the book, if you're just in this for, the sells and the buys and the return on investments, I don't know how much you paid for it when you got it, but I mean, the numbers are speak for themselves. I mean, again, there's a lot of these, though. I'm not going to lie to you. There's a lot on the census. There's almost 5,500 Fantastic Four 52s graded.
Wow.
Yeah.
Damn.
So there's only 5 9/8s. So the highest is in 6.5s. There's 555 of those. But there's, between the 3.0 and 9.0, there's a lot in those grades, like over 100. There's grades for each of those over 100. So there's a lot out there. But still, this is the, first I don't know how they're tracking it. A lot of stuff I've seen, he's the first, black superhero in comic books. So, I mean, listen, 7.0s are selling for, almost 3,000. You have, the 90-day average like at 2,500. So you can see it's ticking up. It definitely has an effect from this What If, going up $400 in like a month. And then, 8.5s just sold for 7,300 with like the 90-day average being 6,860. So this book is trending up. There's plenty of evidence of that. I think, this is like, you got a week or two for this to tick up. Maybe if you want to see a couple more higher sales, but personally, if you're going to let it go, now is the time.
Mm-hmm.
Very interesting.
I
wonder how many were graded like right before the movie or during the movie. Like, what was the number of these graded before the movie? You know what I mean?
Don't know if that specific information is available.
I know that probably not.
Is. It's interesting. I'm sure it went up a lot. I mean, this has always been a book. Like, even when I first got into this in 2013, I think that's before there was any mention of him being in a movie. This book was always, sought after, and a lot of them were graded. I mean, it's an iconic book for sure.
Yeah, for sure. Nice one.
Nice.
JJ, your turn.
Did I get the right one?
You got the right one.
All right, my stash book. We've talked about this in the past show, but it's Black Panther number 5.
Nice.
First appearance of Shuri as Black Panther. Seeing that we're going to be getting her in a new movie, I think if we hold on to this a little bit longer, we might these numbers. The number's going to go up, especially if she does a really good job. Because there is, I think didn't she sign on for a lot more appearances? I think I think I read.
I don't know specifically, but I wouldn't be surprised by that.
Yeah.
I mean, the great part about that too is she's already really well received.
Right.
Like, before they were even thinking about her being a Black Panther, people liked her character a lot. So,
as you can see here on the eBay, it's hovering around the 750 on an 8.5 graded. There are 9.8. I'm sorry, 9.8. There are only 137 9.8s grades on this on the.
Now that's something to track right now. See how many today?
Yep.
Once we see a picture of her in Black Panther, let's see where are they up to now? Wait 16 months and then you'll see how many people.
So I apologize. It's 153 9.8s. 16 of them are signatured.
Okay.
Last sales, like I said, you got the 750. I
didn't realize it went up that much.
Yeah, there are some listed on eBay right now that are not sold. They're up there about 1,200. I'm not sure if they'll ever get that. Maybe eventually they'll get that, but not at this moment.
Yeah.
There are plenty of raw ones out there starting around 275, 250 to 275.
Wow.
But the range on this goes from a 9.8 down to a 7.0. So, there's not a lot of low grades on this grade wise.
Yeah, I mean, 2009, it's tough at that point.
Yeah, sure.
Total senses on the CGC, there's only 380 of grades on this book.
Nice.
I imagine you're going to see a lot more. And of course, I mean, it's a Campbell cover. I mean,
right, and that's what you think would make it collectible right away. But
absolutely, because I would think because there's a lot of Campbell fans out there who are probably itching to get their hands on this.
There probably wasn't a huge print run on these though, because I don't see this book very often. I had no idea that they were already at this type of price. I mean, I totally think that you could get to that 1,200 to 1,500 if she does show up as the Black Panther. And so there's this one, and there's also another cover, right, with her fully. Yep,
it's the one. It's the one after this.
It's
I
number
think.
6. Yeah, I think that one's like a big money book too. That's interesting though. I definitely agree with this. I would hold on to this for a little bit longer until there's confirmation. Listen, could you get burned? Yes, if they decide oh yeah, by the way, it is a new T'Challa from a different multiverse, and you're then yeah, you get burned. But listen, if you're a fan of this, I think it's okay. But listen, if you want to sell it and you don't care, then sell it. But I don't know. I think you could double your money right now, even buying them at $750 if she does show up as Black Panther, which I think is a very good possibility.
Yeah, for sure.
That would be where my bets were, at least.
Good stuff.
Clearly, with my previous pick.
Nice. All right, my turn.
Yep.
All right, next up is what I consider to be one of the greatest Silver Age covers of all time and my personal favorite. Fantastic Four, number 49. First full appearance of Galactus, Eater of Worlds.
I thought you were a big fan of 48.
So-
Well, I'll get there.
So yeah, because I need to understand something about this. So because on 48 they say that that's the first appearance of
It's
Galactus.
the first cameo. It's like a Hulk 180, 181 situation.
All right, because that's why I put it. It was a little weird when I started.
So this is the FF48's stepchild. What's the phrase? You guys know what I mean. Like it's the one that's always in the shadow of it, because FF48 is first appearance of Silver Surfer and Galactus cameo.
So this is like Hulk 180 and Hulk 181, where the Hulk 180 is the actual true first appearance of
first
Wolverine.
cameo, yeah. But FF48 has always been the more popular book because of Silver Surfer. This has been very, very undervalued, I think, for the last few years. And I remember, TC, we were at Terrificon a couple weeks ago, and a couple people next to us were getting into a little debate about this. So census data. For reference, Fantastic Four 49, there are 3,600 copies graded. For Fantastic Four number 48, there's 6,200 graded on the census. That's very high. That book is very high.
Jeez.
Wow.
Yeah. So I mean, Silver Surfer, you got to remember too. So I think so.
And that cover sucks on 48. I'm sorry, it's one of the worst. This is one of the best covers of all time.
Yeah, I mean,
one of the worst.
The Watcher looks like freaking Jason without his mask on.
He looks like Chucky.
Yeah. You got to remember too. The Silver Surfer was huge in the '90s. So when did who was it? The thing came out. CGC, they came out like what, 2001?
Yeah,
was when they launched.
99 or something.
And you got to remember, Silver Surfer that came in that Fantastic Four movie, what, 2004, 2003?
Yeah, very early on.
People who were into comics back then, that was probably a big deal for that. So there's probably a ton of those getting graded for a long time, and this one too. I mean, it was probably a letdown when Galactus was a cloud, but good old-fashioned cloud move. Them and who else loves to do? Oh, Green Lantern.
All right, so why is this a stash and not a buy? 2019 to 2020 high sales were around 1,800 to 2,000. So far this year, the high sales 4,920, with recent sales around 3,700 or so. So it's high compared to what it was just last year, but I still think that this book has room to grow. I think that Galactus is going to appear in a movie one day. I think he's going to be he's one of the biggest villains in Marvel. I mean, I think it's only a matter of time before he comes. And look at that cover. Come on. I don't know what to say.
It is really cool.
I think it's expensive to buy right now if you're looking, but if you have one, I wouldn't sell it just yet.
Yeah, that's a good a little extra to add in there. Probably not a buy.
Yeah.
But if you have it, hold it.
Yeah.
It's interesting too because I feel like you don't know who the next big villain is. Like, they're not going to throw three at you. Like, is it going to be Galactus? Is it going to be Doomsday? Is it going to be Magneto? I feel like there's so much uncertainty about who the next big, bad is. I mean, I forgot the other one, Kang. I mean, there's so many. Four. I think it's very unlikely Magneto, but these other three, it could be really any one of them. It's I want to see more movies because I need to start figuring out where we're going.
I know.
and eventually they got to bring back Doom, right? So
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Dr. Doom. Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm surprised we haven't seen Galactus yet. So
yeah, I think it's coming at some point.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to bring any of those in. I think part of the problem was it was a 20th Century Fox property, and that's another reason why they bought that. I mean, you got to remember, Fox had the Fantastic Four and the X-Men, so it was definitely in Disney's best interest to make sure they bought Fox.
Absolutely.
To get those guys, and now they just have to buy the rest of the universe, and they can have Spider-Man too.
Good stuff.
That was a good pick. Yeah, I totally agree with that one, but with the caveat that don't buy it now. Only hold it if you have it. Hold them if you got them.
All right, TC, why don't you round us off?
All right, so my stash is probably in a similar vein. It is Amazing Spider-Man 14, the first appearance of the Green Goblin, the Norman Osborn version. Listen, there's a lot of uncertainty with this new trailer that came out. Is there a lot of them? There are not as many as, Toy Story just said on the Fantastic Four, or even as many as the first Black Panther. But there's 4,325 of these graded. 382 of those, which is the highest number that you'll see in any grade in 5.0s. Count them, 9.8 of this book out there. So if you have that one, definitely stash it. But like the other book, I said between 2.0 and 9.0, you'll find all those grades. There's more than 100 copies in all those grades. So really a copy for any, budget, really. The last sale on a 9.0 was 1,900 in June. Yeah, so that's a big number.
Wow.
That was the highest recent sold.
Wait, what? Can you repeat that?
19,200.
19,000.
Oh, I'm sorry. 1900.
I was like, wait a second.
Profusely apologize.
You said 1,900.
Yeah,
right?
19,200.
Okay.
Yeah. Apologies, in June. And then 7.0s, which is Toy Story. I know you have one of these. Last sale on that was, you ready for this? 8,100. That was in August. Yeah. The 90-day average on the 7.0s is about 7,100. So again, there could be a little market manipulation there to jump it to a whole 1,000, but it could also be the trailer. 6.5, which I have.
Courtesy of your best friend over here.
What's that?
Courtesy of your very good friend over here.
That's all right. Last sale on that one, also August, was 5,280. With the 90-day average on that one being about 5,050. So definitely trending up. But so why am I telling you to stash? Because you don't know what's going to happen. Now, I'm going to tell you an absolute certainty in the world of MCU, comics, Spider-Man, whatever happens. This kid's not going anywhere.
No.
Tom Holland. I don't care how many movies, whatever the contract he wrote. We're not going to. This isn't the last movie we're going to see him in. There's not going to be another movie after this that's the last movie. He's going to be there for a while. There is no chance, even if they're pulling our leg about what Goblin this is, there's absolutely zero chance we never see Green Goblin. So what I'm saying is, it's ticking up now because you got like a pumpkin bomb. Just wait till you see the actual version of him. God forbid it's Willem Dafoe's version of him. Imagine he actually looks the way he's supposed to look, like you see on this cover here. I think those numbers could increase drastically. And again, I don't recommend this as a book you buy right now, just like Toy Story's book. This is definitely a stash. It's just too expensive and it's going up too quickly. But I think it definitely hasn't hit its ceiling yet. And there's a lot more to go, especially once we see something about him. This could be one where you might have to stash it until the day it comes out, though. So,
okay,
that's my story, and I'm sticking.
That's a keep forever book for me.
I mean,
when I sell my comics, I'm gonna be left with my Thor book and this one. I think. In a couple of weeks. I love this book so much. Oh my God.
It's I mean, I don't really envision selling my comics. It's probably once I get into retirement age, maybe, like right before then, because at some point, like you have to enjoy them. Like unless like if my daughter loves them, then she can have them. It's fine. They're all hers, which is definitely a possibility. But it's at some point, when you think about it, we're really just renting these. No matter how long we want to keep it for. Yeah, do we rent them for a profit? Hopefully, that'd be great. But or lease it for a profit, I guess. So these books aren't dying with us unless we choose to get them buried. But people will find out about that and dig you up. So yeah, that's my pick. I think that rounds it out.
That was a fantastic set of picks, guys.
Yeah, nice I think there's some good information here. Hopefully, some of you watch this and follow our advice and maybe tell your friends.
So should I hold on to my digital version of Spider-Man, the Amazing Spider-Man #1 that I bought today?
Which version of that is it? Is it the tier A, B, C, or Q?
It's the uncommon. What do you call those things we talked about the other day?
NFTs.
The NFTs.
Yeah. And good luck
I'm
with that.
I'm hoping it goes up in price.
I hope so too. All right. Well, that's it for me. You guys have anything else?
No, this was great. I love this. This was probably the best one we've had.
So this is going to be a monthly segment, guys. So stay tuned for the next one. Buy, sell, and stash every month. I believe we'll have it every month.
Yeah.
And tell us your opinion. Tell us your buy, stash, sell list.
Yeah.
We'd love to hear it. Actually,
Did you like ours? Did you not like ours? We want to know. You can debate with us. I have no problem telling you why you're wrong. So please.
He does it. He really
He's
does
good
it.
at that too.
Yeah.
Listen,
really good at that.
I have no problem with being right. If I'm wrong, a broken clock. I think maybe once a day, maybe I'm wrong. I wouldn't say twice. I wouldn't go as far as broken.
Jesus.
Nice.
But yeah, that's it for us. Again, make sure you're if you're not already doing so, you're subscribed, you're hitting that notification button, you're giving us the thumbs up, the comments. It really does help us. We would really appreciate if you do it. And if you're not following us on Instagram at LI Comic Guys and at Don't Feed the Geeks Podcast, that's really the place where we're really active with and spend a lot of our time interacting with a lot of you. And if you want to get into contact with us, that's the best place to do it. Facebook, we do monitor as well. So if you want to hit us up there, if that's your social media platform of choice, you can do that as well. But that's a wrap for this episode, guys. So until next time, remember,
Don't feed the geeks!